Hello, everyone, and oh, you kind of bumped the thing.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't ready.
Okay, whatever. You ready now?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a current movie review. I'm Sean.
And I'm Tennille.
And today we went and we saw the movie, the third of the Hotel Transylvania 3.
Good job.
I'm professional.
Just picked that one right up.
But before we get started, we're not actually going to talk about Hotel Transylvania 3 yet, because we figured we should actually give you a little bit of context as to how we feel about Hotel Transylvania 1 and 2. But if you don't give a crap about that, jump to this timestamp to get directly to Hotel Transylvania 3.
Yep. And we won't be talking spoilers until we get to the spoiler section, so there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, Hotel Transylvania...
Okay, I guess we're going to do a non-spoiler and a spoiler section for these two movies.
No.
Okay.
Brief. We're going to keep this brief about these first two films.
We don't talk about these too much.
Yeah.
Okay, Hotel Transylvania, the first one, starring Adam Sandler.
You know what? It's okay. Sit down, honey. I got this.
Do it.
Okay, so Hotel Transylvania 1 and 2, I feel like I can kind of group these movies together.
Mm-hmm.
They're very similar for me because I love the art direction.
Mm-hmm.
The animation and the rigs they use are fantastic, and
Mm-hmm.
the animators really make the most out of them. They do some hilarious visual gags.
Yes.
In these films. The story, I kind of hate it.
It's pretty weak.
The characters are a mixed bag.
Yeah, they're mostly okay, but then there's just moments where certain characters like Drac will just do something really stupid, and you're just like, why are you doing this?
Drac is probably my least favorite of the Hotel Transylvania cast.
Yeah.
Especially in 1 and 2.
Yeah, for sure.
And then most of, both the first two films kind of have a stronger opening act, a middling second, and then an awful third act.
Yeah, and if I were to take both movies apart for just a little bit, I would definitely say that the first movie is better than the second movie. I think the first movie is okay.
Yeah.
Overall, as a complete whole. The second movie is bad.
Yeah. Although I think... See, and here's the thing. Here's my problem with the Hotel Transylvania movies. There's so many... It throws so many jokes at you, and, with the first film, I feel like 90% of the jokes completely fall flat on their face. For me. Comedy is something that's, different for everybody. But for me... the comedy just does not work in the first film. There's a few jokes, and those jokes do land. They make me laugh out loud. They're good.
Especially whenever they do the mirror
bad
jokes.
So many what?
The mirror jokes. Whenever
Yeah.
they do the mirror or photograph jokes, those, I don't know, they're just funny.
Yeah. The second film, I feel like, has a better ratio of good to bad jokes.
Mm-hmm.
But the story is so much worse, and the third act is awful.
It was the kind of thing where our roommates walked in as we were watching the second movie, and the third act was starting up, and they're like, so what, is this the beginning of the film? We're like, no. And they're like, wait, no? It feels like the beginning of the movie. And we're like, yeah, we know.
No, this is the end of the movie.
The second movie definitely has an Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and they're very separate entities, and they don't work together, and most of them don't work by themselves.
So overall, I would say that for both of us, we're very lukewarm on this franchise as a whole.
It's I love the animation.
I just wish there was some better story and characters written for it.
Mm-hmm. All right, there you go. That's our brief summary. And just so you know, we did actually rewatch these movies just this week so that we were prepared for this. This isn't just our feelings from I don't know, 3
years ago.
3 to 5 years ago when we last saw these films. This is very fresh and recent. This is our raw feelings on these movies.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to Hotel Transylvania 3. If you skipped ahead, you didn't miss much. We thought the other movies were okay. Yeah. Now let's get into the actual review.
How'd you feel about this movie looking at the trailers?
I mean, I saw one trailer, and it was a very stock trailer where it's like, oh, look, we're on a cruise ship, which is just like a hotel on a boat. It's
Right.
just on the water. And that's like the only trailer I saw, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to get out of this. I don't see anything that makes me hate it, but I don't really see anything that's going to draw me in either. It was a very lukewarm trailer.
Right. It was a trailer that, like, wasn't setting up anything. It didn't... Like, it just didn't give me any expectations at all, other
It's like,
than it's another Hotel Transylvania
Yeah, it's
movie.
like, I have no idea what the plot's going to be other than they're on a boat. Mm-hmm. And that's it. And that's not really a plot.
Surprisingly, no Lonely Island joke.
Yeah. In this whole movie, there was no Lonely Island joke.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't think there was, unless, like, it was
No,
super...
there wasn't.
I'm pretty sure not. Okay, but after coming out of the theater, we can both say that we really enjoyed this film.
Holy crap, I was not expecting it to be this good.
This was really good. If you're a fan of the first two Hotel Transylvania
You're gonna
movies,
love this.
check this one out.
Or I hope you love it.
Yeah, don't be like, oh, well, I don't know, they might be pushing it with a third. Honestly, I can say without a doubt that this is the strongest Hotel Transylvania movie.
By far.
By
It's like
far.
the movie started, I'm like, I already enjoy this. 30 minutes in, I'm like, man, I'm still enjoying this. Half an hour in, it's like, all right, we've gotten like the liar revealed or whatever the turning point of the movie. And like, you know, I know they had to do that and it worked all right.
Yeah, you know what? The first two films have that whole liar reveal. They do it in both movies.
Both movies, they have the liar revealed thing and then everyone's upset and like, that's when the movie goes to garbage in both of those movies.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen in this one. The third act is so good in this one.
Okay, I will say that my one complaint with the third act is the pacing isn't great. Like, it kind of drags on.
It's true.
It's really enjoyable, but I could definitely see on a rewatch being
You
like,
could probably crop
okay,
that down a bit.
speed this up.
Speed
just
up
a
some of the
little
stuff
bit.
because that's one thing these movies do a really good job at is the tight, snappy animation. Mm-hmm. And the animation itself drags a little bit with like specifically one character in the final act. But there's a reason it drags with that one character.
Okay, I'll have to have you say something. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I gave some motions and she understood.
Yo,
we'll talk about it in the spoiler section.
Yeah. No, this was a good movie. The ratio of jokes that hit and jokes that made me want to hit myself
Was like 1,000,000 to none.
Yeah, like usually
There's-
in Hotel Transylvania, most of the time I'm sitting back in my seat going, oh gosh, please stop.
Can this joke work? No, it didn't. In fact, it makes me want to hate myself.
Yeah, hit myself.
Hit myself, yes.
But no, in this movie,
I don't think there was ever a single joke that made me audibly groan.
I liked most of the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
There was only a few that I was like,
Okay, I see what they're going for, but I don't hate it.
no.
Type of thing.
There's even some like pretty cliche and like low-brow jokes that I'm like, yeah, you know what, you did that fine.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're going for, and I'm perfectly fine with
Like
this.
there's some like swimsuit jokes and like just potty humor and stuff. And I was like, well, you know, that's the easy joke you gotta make
Hey,
because they're on a
that
cruise
being
ship.
that being said, there was no straight up pee joke in this movie like the first and second movies did.
Yeah, really awkward pee jokes in the first and second film.
None of that. There was
Yeah.
no straight up poop or pee jokes in this one. I mean, there was a fart joke. Done twice.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay. I guess spoilers, but I actually appreciated the fart joke because the fart joke was actually a girl farting, and then a guy standing next to her was like, "Oh, that's cute."
Yeah.
Like, thank you, Sony. I didn't know I needed this in my life, but like a guy just saying, "Oh, that was a cute fart," and not being like, "Ew, gross," or I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Just, that is another thing I want to talk about right away, is that this film doesn't hate women the way that the first two films
No.
do.
In fact, one thing I want to say about this movie is it's the most empowering movie I've seen. It's just
in what
that's
context?
not true. That's not true.
Like, that's a pretty high bar.
Sorry, it's how about the most inclusively empowering film for whatever denomination you make of yourself, whatever that be, whether gender, race,
Okay, I'm going to stop you
Stuff
there,
like
and
that.
I'm just going to say that this movie does a much better job with its message
yes.
than the other two films do.
Oh, yeah. It
Because-
doesn't actively shoot its message in the foot repeatedly
Right.
and or go against its message.
Right, because Drac, and that's another thing I want to talk about, Drac usually, like, he learns a lesson in these films, and then, but his actions throughout the film, and
Don't
even
make you wanna learn it?
and even after he learns the lesson, make you go like, okay, yeah, but he didn't actually learn anything, and
He's still kind of a jerk.
yeah.
That's not true
But in this
one.
film, he's an enjoyable character.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I wouldn't say he necessarily feels consistent with the past two films,
Mm-hmm.
but he is a much enjoyable character and he is consistent for this film.
Yes.
And he's not really the one learning a lesson. He learns a small lesson, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like, he's not the character that grows through this film.
No, it's another character that I don't think we should talk about.
Yeah, and Mavis actually kind of has a character arc, which
Yeah.
is good of Sony because obviously Mavis is like the most popular
Of
part
course.
of these movies.
Of course. She's
A
the
cute
cute AF
goth girl.
vampire goth girl. Yeah. She's cute.
She's really cute.
She's really cute. I can't lie. It's just like she just shows up and like,
I love you.
I do. I love you so much, and you're stuck with that shitbag. That being said, the shitbag isn't terrible in this movie.
Who? Jonathan?
Yeah, her husband. I actually really enjoyed Jonathan in this one.
He's better in this film. I like him the most in 1 and in this film.
Yeah,
In 2, he's really awful because he's just like, I don't want
Super
to
needy and
communicate with
stuff.
my wife. But in this film, like, it works. Yeah, it's a
This
lot
whole-
better.
the whole feeling of this movie, there's not negative. There isn't just a general level of negativity around everything.
Yeah. Like, I actually feel like the people who came back to work on this film had a good time, had fun writing the script, didn't
Weren't
feel...
feeling malicious
Yeah.
or resentful at all, like,
The second film's so malicious.
to everyone
Yeah.
and everything. Like, all the jokes are stabs at particular groups or people or specific characters, and you don't really get that in this one.
No, it's having a good time. And there are numerous, like, random dance numbers, or at least, like, times where music comes in seemingly at random, but it actually works for this film. They weave it into the story in an enjoyable way to be more like a music video or something like that, but it actually pertains to the plot. And I'm like, thank you! It's not like in the second film where Drac and Dennis just randomly have a dance-off for no reason.
And then
the
they
film's
drop it
just
and never
like,
talk about it again.
goodbye! Don't need to address that.
It was
just
trailer
happened.
fodder. No, that doesn't exist in this one. It's so good.
My main complaints, like I said before, are probably the third act could be a bit tighter. And the writing for story beats is still not great. It's still, like, extremely on the nose.
Oh, yeah.
Hammy.
There's at one point, this one actually has a villain. That's not a spoiler. And there's one point where the villain is sitting there and literally monologuing for, like,
Oh, yeah.
1 or 2 minutes straight.
Just talking about his past, and, like, the person standing next to them
Already
obviously
knows-
would know this, and it's just...
And the
yeah,
person
alright.
standing next to them eventually is just like, all right, stop. Don't care.
Yeah.
And that went on a little long.
Yeah. Like, in one look at him, you're just like, you can figure it out, like figure out what his backstory is without him monologuing.
It's like, it's obviously there for like the super young kids that don't understand.
Yeah.
I guess.
But yet again, like the visual clues of what happened are so obvious. It's like we don't need
this monologue
here. And there's like all the Hotel Transylvania movies have this moment where like you're getting into the meat of the third act or getting to the third act, and someone just like blatantly yells what the message of the movie is.
Yeah.
And this film does that too, but I did not find it.
It felt a lot smoother.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It was a lot smoother this time around. I don't know. Maybe it was just because I was enjoying myself more, but...
That you were like okay with it?
Yeah.
It's like when the character turns to the camera and just says, "This is the message of the story."
Yeah. So anyway.
We really enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
So honestly, if you weren't looking forward to this one and what we said helped turn you around, cool. Maybe check it out, honestly.
Like, you're not gonna find like some fantastic story from this, but...
There's no super deep message.
Well, I think the message works for what it's trying to say. It works and it does it well. But if you're just looking to like watch a legitimately fun comedy, go see this film. Yeah, this is a good time. This is a nice, positive summer flick. And honestly, probably the best animated film we've seen so far this year.
Yes, we just threw that down. This is better than Incredibles 2.
I mean, granted, we still have Isle of Dogs, which we saw this year.
Oh, shoot.
We keep forgetting Isle of Dogs.
I keep forgetting Isle of Dogs because all three of these movies are completely different genres.
Right.
I mean, if anything, this is closer to Isle of Dogs than it is Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
Because it's not an action-adventure, it's a comedy, and Isle of Dogs is like a artistic comedy, and this is more of just like a lowbrow comedy? Question mark?
General audience comedy.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
But like...
How...
Like, I don't want to compare these, like, all these films,
these are all,
they're
like,
so different. But as far as just, like, enjoyability goes, Isle of Dogs and Hotel Transylvania definitely rank higher than Incredibles 2.
I think this movie, compared to those other two, knew what genre it was and what it was trying to achieve overall in every aspect, and hit all of its marks better than either of those two films. Because both of those other films have...
Both of those other films.
Isle of Dogs and Incredibles 2.
Oh, okay.
Both had areas or specific things in them that I felt that they could have done better. And this movie did everything it was trying to do almost perfectly.
Yeah. Plus be just super enjoyable.
Just incredibly enjoyable.
Yeah.
All three of these movies are great ones to go see. Obviously, if you haven't seen them, go see them.
Yeah. So with that out of the way...
I think we'll take our transition period now.
And yeah, we'll talk about trailers.
Talk about trailers, and then we'll go into the spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers because you were shocked and surprised that we enjoyed this movie so much, you have to go check it out yourselves, please do that, because I think this is a movie to support. Sony actually made a really good movie. Go support this.
Go see this, you know, it's their summer film. Last year, their summer film was Emoji Movie. So why don't you put your money where your mouth is and go support the movies that are good?
Yes. All right, so we got 2 animated film trailers this time around.
Yes.
The first one we saw was Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Which I don't remember if we've talked about this one before.
I don't remember if we did. It was so long ago, and it wasn't this trailer, that's for sure.
Okay, so...
It was not the... If we talked about this in our last movie review, who cares? Whatever, we'll talk about it again.
Yeah.
So this is like probably the final trailer we're going to get.
I would assume so.
Or,
we might... coming out this year.
Yeah, we might get one more, and this comes out Thanksgiving Day.
Probably.
Yes.
I'm not even if there is another trailer, I'm probably going to avoid watching it.
And or we're probably not going to see it anyways because we don't really ever see trailers.
I mean, yeah, we tend to see like at least a teaser or the first trailer. But because trailers have been so bad recently about spoiling things in the movie, I try...
Dragons 3 trailer.
Yeah. I try to keep my distance from them just to help make the movie a bit more enjoyable. Like, I know for some people spoilers don't matter, but...
I don't know, it kind of does for us.
Yeah, it affects how we watch the movie the first time. Anyway, though.
It looks enjoyable?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Wreck-It Ralph 2. I'm definitely holding any judgment on it, though, until we see it. Because all the jokes in the trailer, even like the Disney princess stuff, which I know that rubs some people the wrong way, I find it really enjoyable, but I totally understand where people are coming from, and at the, like it bothers me a little too.
It's like, I enjoy this, but I do... It's like, all right, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit of rubbing of like...
It's a little pandery.
It's kind of pandery right here.
But I also love the pander. Like, it's two warring sides of me.
So it's like, I don't know. I'll probably enjoy it. I'll have to wait and find out. All right, and the other trailer we got, which I'm pretty sure we haven't talked about, is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man!
Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man! It looks so good!
Oh my god, I so love the art style of this movie. If you haven't seen trailers for this, go look it up. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's starring Miles.
This is easily the movie I am most excited for this year.
Yes, the art style on this movie looks fantastic.
And it's got Spider-Gwen in it.
Yeah. It's got Gwen Stacy. It's also got Peter Parker playing this old vagabond that's like got no money. Like, you're gonna pay for this, right? And like Miles is like, oh my god.
I don't think you're gonna be a good teacher.
This movie looks fantastic. I love the comic book aesthetic they've applied to this, and like the choppiness of the
limited frames.
Yeah, the limited frames they've been putting on all these 3D models. Oh, it's so good. This is what I want to see out of more 3D films. I want to see stylized animation that doesn't look like just another run-of-the-mill 3D animated film.
And the cinematography.
Oh, yes!
Like, it's straight from a comic book, and yet it kisses the media of film so well. I'm so excited.
Even if the story is fine to okay at best.
I'm just gonna be happy looking at this film.
Indeed.
Like, seriously. But no, it looks like it's gonna have great action, great cinematography, fantastic characters, great comedy. Did I already say good comedy? I don't know. But it's gonna be funny. I'm excited.
I'm ready for this movie to come out. That being said, we have to wait until December to see this one. It's the last film of the year. And heck,
well, I'm glad to know we'll be ending on a high note.
I mean, hopefully we don't come out of the movie hating it.
I don't see that happening.
No, I mean, this year has had so many good movies so far.
It would have to really screw the pooch for us to come out of the theater hating it. Like, it would have to make some really, like, I don't know, poor message or something like that to make us angry.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's talk spoilers.
We're talking spoilers, so if you don't want those, get out.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this movie. I mean, we've talked about that already, but I loved a lot of the jokes.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about the best character, like the werewolves?
Yes.
The werewolf couple.
Okay, so the werewolf couple has always been my favorite in these films.
Just their jokes.
Their jokes almost always land for me.
They're like dead-eyed parenting jokes work so well, and this one is like, wait,
the fact that she is always pregnant, like always pregnant.
Always pregnant, and he's like so jaded to the world just because he has 7,000 kids that he can't control.
Yeah.
And this movie is like, wait, you're gonna take our children?
Even before
willingly?
they get to this point, like, they have a couple of really nice jokes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they get on the cruise ship and they find out that there's like a daycare or like a kids club on the cruise ship. And they're like, what's that? They walk in, they're like, so wait, I don't understand. You're telling me that you're gonna take our kids for the day
Willingly?
willingly?
And it's like, yes, and you'll get them back this evening. And then they just both, just like, oh my god. They just get this look of
Pure ecstasy.
pure happiness and hope back in their lives. Like, I never knew I could live like this again. And they're like, you'll get them back at the end of the day. And they're just like, oh. Well, I'll take what I can get.
Yeah.
And then they just like whistle for the kids and they all just, home.
Yeah,
And
they
then
all
they walk
storm
out.
in like they do. And then the parents walk out and they're like, we can do whatever we want.
We can do whatever we want.
We can do whatever
we can do whatever we want. Whatever we can do whatever. And in the background, the kids are like destroying everything, and they're just like so happy to be free.
And
They're so happy, and I'm so happy that they're happy for once.
And there's just scenes of like different parts throughout the movie where they're just having a grand old time.
They're just running around like they're playing fetch with each other because they can do that again. It's so fun.
It's so good. And, you know, I gotta say, I was really impressed with this film. This film has a lot of side plots with all of its other characters, but they all come back together. And, you know, for the films that we've seen recently, like, that's been a hard thing to accomplish.
Like, even Incredibles 2 didn't really deliver on some of its...
Following through on plots.
Yeah, follow through on some of its side plots. Like, oh, I don't feel like you hit the ending for that. There wasn't really an ending for that. It just kind of stopped.
But no, like, everything that
works.
gets brought up here, like, it concludes, and this is a large ensemble cast.
I mean, every movie keeps introducing, like, 7 new characters or something like that. So there's, like, 15 characters that they got to figure out how to do things with in this movie.
The only side plot that I feel that was probably the weakest was the stuff with Blobby.
Yeah, but Blobby was just kind of there to make jokes more than anything.
Yeah, like,
and I was
he
totally
really,
fine with him.
He probably takes up, like, seriously, maybe under 5 minutes of the film by himself.
I would say, like, 2 to 3 minutes if you count him being included with scenes where other important characters are doing things, like Drac in his dance scene.
Yeah, like, he's really only there for, like, a joke. And I don't feel like any of those jokes really landed with me. They were just kind of like, okay. It's
like, yeah, those were like, all right, these jokes are fine. I'm sure some of the kids are going to laugh at this, but again, I was not upset with it.
Yeah. The Davis and Lucy bringing their dog, gosh, I'm trying so hard to remember everybody's name. Tinkles on the ship. I thought
Davis and Lucy?
Yeah, or Dennis. And the little werewolf girl's name is Lucy, isn't it?
I don't remember what her name is, but
I think
you said Davis, and that part threw me for a loop. But
Dennis.
Yes, yeah, Dennis and the little werewolf girl. If it is Lucy, I honestly just don't remember.
Yeah.
Them bringing Tinkles along with them.
Yeah.
It was charming.
There's one unresolved plot, but it's comedic that they don't resolve it, honestly, in my opinion.
What was that plot? What was that?
Hi, I'm Bob.
Oh, the fact that the dog says, say hi, Bob. Hi, Bob.
Yeah.
And he does it twice, and she's like, huh? I love it.
Yeah, like, it never gets explained why.
But you know what?
That.
Tinkles was still there in the end, and he helped.
Yeah.
In the final confrontation.
It had a nice conclusion, a nice arc. I was like, I thought that was gonna go nowhere.
But no, it was actually needed for something, and it worked.
By the time there's a scene like midway through the film where I thought it was like, okay, if that was the end of that arc, like, that would be fine. It's not a great conclusion, but, you know, I'd be like, okay, I'll throw you a bone, that's fine. And I thought...
Throw you a bone,
yeah.
dog?
And I thought it was when Tinkle's like finds the secret lair
Of
and
Van
he's like,
Helsing?
yeah, and is barking down there.
Oh, I
and-
guess spoilers if you're one of those terrible people that isn't going to see the film and us talking out of
Don't
context.
call out our subscribers, our beautiful flower buds.
Oh yeah, our flower buds. Yeah, that because we're the flowers and you're our buds, so you're our flower buds.
We talked about this on the Patreon chat. I hope you're all okay with being called our flower buds.
Or just buds for short.
Yeah.
Because you're our buds.
Anyway, if you haven't seen the film yet, the villains of this film is the Van Helsing family. Of course.
Of course. I mean, that's the suitable villain to make for the
Vampires.
Vampires.
Yeah.
But he's just like a comedic guy that can't ever catch Dracula, and he's been doing it for generations, and he comes up with this big old plot that he's going to take them to the lost city, all the monsters to the lost city of Atlantis, and then destroy them with the Kraken, which apparently happened in the past, and he's going to replicate it. And he's got his great-granddaughter, Erica, in the whole plot as well.
Yeah.
So it's Erica Van Helsing, and Drac falls in love with her. He zings again because you can't zing twice. You can't fall in love twice, except they do.
Thank
God!
God!
This works so well. Just talking about parents losing a loved one and or getting a divorce or something and being allowed to fall in love again, and just like, yeah, it just works. Who cares? Of course it can happen again.
You know,
I love that they address it in just in such a it's fine, who cares type of way.
Yes, I honestly, like, I was really not sure how to feel about it when he zinged. I was like, oh no, is the whole film gonna be this? Cause
a confrontation of you can't fall in love again.
Right. But they handled,
like, Mavis does it a
so
little
smoothly.
Everyone is fine with it. The only person that has a little bit of an issue is Mavis, but she's like, okay, you know what? Yes, okay, I'm okay with this.
Well, and the way they handle it by her being like, yeah, but I'm not quite sure I like her.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if I like her. I'm okay with him falling in love with her again, but I think she's kind of evil or something. Mm-hmm. And then, like, when that all gets resolved, she's like, yeah, okay, you know what? Fine. Even if she's trying to kill you, if you love her, go after her and stuff.
Right, because, and I think the big difference here is that, you know, Mavis is an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mavis is a married adult, and she's like, you know what?
My dad does deserve to be happy.
Yeah.
Sure, he can fall in love. This is not like, you know, Mavis is a child. If this was a Mavis as a child and, you know, her dad is falling in love again after his wife died, you know, that I could see is better material for like a, oh, I can't believe you'd fall in love with anyone but Mom. You know, you're betraying her, blah, blah, blah.
I'm just thinking of Despicable Me 2 and how terrible that movie was trying to cover.
Don't even get started on
No,
that.
let's continue talking about the good film.
Yeah, but thank you for being a film that's all about adults. They do the adult thing here. Mm-hmm. No one acts childish about it. There's still that like bit of hurt that Mavis has, like, oh well, I just didn't think that he could fall in love with anyone except Mom. But she gets over it. She grows
like
by
the most
herself.
upset
It's
that
nice.
The most upset she seems to get in this entire thing is just the fact that he didn't really tell her.
Right.
He was trying to keep it a secret, and he's
Because
like,
he didn't want to hurt her feelings.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then, like, once they all it all gets talked out, it's fine, and everyone's happy.
And it never becomes a, like, we're trying to lie about this and keep it behind our backs into making it a problem. Mm-hmm. Like, you know how it is in most of these films where it's like, oh, well, I'll just keep this little lie to myself and, you know, and then, like, it just grows and grows and, like, things get ridiculous and everyone starts acting childish. No, this film does not take that route. There's awkward, like, it gets awkward for a little bit, but then everybody talks it out like adults. There's some jokes made because it's still a comedy. Mm-hmm. And then it's done.
We move on. We're good.
Yeah. And then people are just, They're good with it.
And then we go on to the silly plot of like the Kraken destroying everybody. And then, okay, I just want to talk about how the fact that the Kraken is controlled through
music
and not just music, but like taiko music. I'm pretty sure that was the name of the DJ.
Okay.
Whoever the DJ was.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was. I feel like it was something like taiko or something like that.
Okay.
I've listened to this music before. I love stupid techno music.
Yeah.
I love it. It worked perfectly for like evil techno music controls the monster, is going to destroy everyone. And they defeat it through the use of stupid feel-good music like Don't Worry, Be Happy and the freaking... Good vibrations. Good vibrations. And ultimately, they win.
Wait, don't spoil it.
Okay, we can't spoil what the ultimate good-feeling song that will defeat any evil music ever.
You have to go see the movie to find out.
We will not ruin this. It's amazing. I love it. It's the perfect song because it's just that silly.
Yeah, good song choices.
And I love the fact that it's Jonathan that comes up with it.
Yeah, Jonathan finally
actually
has a use in this film.
He has a use in this movie because he didn't have any use in the second movie.
He has a couple of really good parts, like especially right in the third act. He's like he's one of the heroes of the final act.
Oh yeah, because he's like, I'm a DJ and I'm not okay with bad DJs. Also, can I just say that I love the Atlantean people?
Yes.
Just like this super like angular fishmen that like have this
emo frill
that just goes over their head, and I love all of these guys, and they're only ever in the background. I wanted to see them more up close. Also, I just love the mermen, which are like half fish, half men, but they're not. They're like opposites. Like so, they're fish tops with human feet. They're amazing. I love it. And they never explicitly just like, oh, look, it's a merman. Yeah. Or anything like that. But it's just like, that's what they are. And it's hilarious.
Yep. Good again, visual jokes.
Visual jokes are so good.
Yep. And then we have to talk about probably what is our favorite scene.
Oh my god. So yes, the sheet music to control the Kraken is hidden in the ruins of Atlantis below the new Atlantis, which is just a casino.
Yeah.
And so they do like Indiana Jones type thing where they're like, where Erica is like trying to get through all the traps and stuff. And except she like steps on a trap and almost gets hit by an axe, but
Drac comes in and saves her. And this whole time, Erica actually has a fantastic little character arc.
She's like, oh, I hate monsters, they're terrible. And then she like sees the family interacting throughout the movie and is like, oh, that's a cute family. Wait, no, they're evil, I can't like them and stuff.
Right.
And just slowly comes around and actually really liking Drac and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is the ultimate scene of that.
Yeah, of them like bonding. And it's them like just kind of dancing up these stairs and past all these booby traps because Drac saves her from the first trap.
And she's like, you saved my life. I can't believe a monster would do that for me. And he's like, yeah, I mean, what? Could I just let you die or something? And then she like walks forward and sets off another trap. And she's like, you saved my life again. Are you going to do this every time? Or it's like, how many times are you going to do this? It's like, how about every time?
And so then
like, okay.
She just starts running up the stairs and all these booby traps go off and then Drac is just like hurrying to save her and eventually they just start dancing. And Drac is taking like all the shots.
And like needles riddle his right side and then arrows riddle his left side and then snakes are covering his arms and like they're just dancing and he's wearing pure black and she's wearing pure white and it's just a beautiful dance scene up the stairs. It's shot so well. The animation's amazing.
So funny.
I love this scene.
Sean and I were like
literally laughing out loud the whole time.
Yeah, we were just like cackling in the theater.
Oh,
it was so good.
I loved it.
This is definitely a film we will be I mean, we have an animation like library anyway. We try to buy a lot of animated films
And
because
we
for
want-
animation pilgrimage. But this is definitely a film I think we'll be picking up right away, and we'll be sharing with other people and watching it.
Oh yeah, it's like friends come over like, guys, have you seen this movie? No, you have to watch it. Cause
Yeah.
it's
Even if you didn't like the first two Hotel Transylvania films, like I can almost guarantee you'll find something a little bit charming in this one.
Oh heck, they even make callbacks to random obscure jokes in the first or second movie, and they work.
They do work.
They're like, it's a second cousin of your right arm.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm so glad we watched the first two films.
Because we would have missed jokes like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I mean, in the first movie, Jonathan is supposedly Frankenstein's second cousins of his right arm or something like that.
Yeah.
So they make that joke in this movie, and it's like this hot girl with like the huge rippling arm like Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And they do that
Overall-
again in like some other joke like that.
Yeah, there's a couple of callbacks from the second film. I can't think of them now off the top of my head.
But they work.
Yeah, they work. And yeah, I honestly, I really enjoyed this film. And if you're looking for a good comedy, go see this. It was a really fun time.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing this movie again.
Yeah, want to like grab our roommates and be like, hey, yo, let's go watch this
Let's go watch
again.
this movie again.
Yeah, this was fun. That being said, like, I hope we're not putting people's expectations too high. Like I said, the story is still probably like the weakest part of this, but I think the comedy makes up for it.
Oh yeah.
Like this was just fun. I think that's everything.
Yeah, I think that's everything I want to talk about.
Yeah. So go see this film if you haven't. If you have seen it, let us know what you thought of it. Did you like it as much as we did?
Did you hate it?
Yeah, did you hate it? Are we just crazy?
Did you expect us to hate it?
Yeah, did you expect us to hate it?
I mean, because you haven't heard any of our thoughts on the first two films. They're films that we just never talked about because they're not ones we actively hate on or anything.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
think
that's it. When's our next movie? Do you know?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? What is it?
2 weeks. I'm pretty... Yes. 2 weeks.
Okay. Yes?
Teen Titans Go. The movie.
Okay. Well, see you guys in 2 weeks for Teen Titans Go.
The movie.
Yay.